Yes, I hear you isekai lovers. It's time for some isekai binging. Here are 10 most trending isekai anime. Some of these are airing right now, others have already aired, but still trending. Here's the list, let's go. If you love isekai anime, make sure to check my browser, text RPG Isekaigen, free credits code in the pinned comment.
もしかしてアテ？はい、我が王よ。
Time for some kingdom building. Takuro Ira lived his short life in a hospital bed, spending most of it mastering Eternal Nations, a civilization building game. His faction of choice? Myongara, notoriously evil, brutally complex, and played on the hardest difficulty. When he dies and wakes up reincarnated as the literal king of ruin with his favorite hero unit Atto pledging loyalty at his side, things get interesting fast. His strategy remains the same as always: play low, survive, and build smart.
まずいことになった。あれは良くない存在だ。
Remember Overlord? Well, this is like that except for the fact that the main character actually makes his own decisions instead of letting his subordinates run wild. Takuto and Atto's dynamic is genuinely fun to watch, and it gives me this whole Sid and Alpha vibes from Eminence and Shadow. Two terrifyingly powerful beings awkwardly figuring out a brand new world together. The nation building angle rooted in top-down strategy game logic builds things fresh, and the political maneuvering in the second half pays off big.
どうしよ。召喚虫 H。
Kenichi Yamada is a hardcore gamer who lives for brutal difficulty. So when a mysterious invitation promises an impossibly hard game, he jumps in head first, selecting Hell mode without blinking. Surprise? It's not a game. He's reborn as Alan, a peasant kid in a feudal fantasy world where even basic progression demands grinding through extreme poverty and rock-bottom social status. But just like every gamer, my boy is armed with gamer instincts and zero shortcuts.
だから何なんだこのスピードは。こっちは召喚獣の加護を素早さに全振りしてるんですけど。
What makes this isekai actually work is the pacing. Alan spends just enough time as a struggling kid before his smarts kick in, figuring out efficiency builds, learning from failures, and climbing the social ladder without ever getting annoyingly cocky. Most isekai protagonists trip and accidentally become gods. Alan earns the whole thing. The class system gets introduced naturally through his daily grind, and this guy's pretty relatable. Come on, my man is fighting through capitalism.
それが私のそうだ王。
Gray was the most powerful king who ever lived. Wealth, strength, fame, all of it. But just like you, he was alone. Then, he dies and gets reincarnated as a magicless baby named Arthur in a world full of magic. For the first time, he experiences the whole family warmth and friendship stuff, but of course, nothing stays peaceful for long.
アリス、あの子はもう。
Here's the thing. This isn't your typical Japanese guy gets isekai'd and becomes OP for zero reason story. Arthur starts at the top, dies, and has to claw his way back up. Except this time, he's also figuring out how to actually be a decent human being instead of a ruthless sociopath. There are also some interesting side characters like the 11 King, and even though some of the stuff is meh, or in Gen Z terms mid, the story is actually a nice isekai.
エクスカリバー エンドレスダーク
A guy dies, gets reincarnated as an overpowered demon, and instead of going full villain mode, he's just chilling in the demon lord's castle as a low-ranked guardian. Then the hero's party shows up. He knocks them all out effortlessly, patches them up, and boom, falls head over heels for the party's priest, Cecilia. Now this lazy demon is out here simping. Ain't that a relatable story?
君に一目惚れしました。俺と
The characters are genuinely what carries the show. Yokai starts as a total slacker, but watching him rebuild himself just to impress Cecilia is surprisingly compelling. Even the side characters, the hero's party members, the demonic servant trying to fit into human society, each bringing their own little drama and growth that makes you actually care. But what pushed me into this story was the whole dynamic between Yokai and Cecilia, and I really love it.
全てを
Azusa Aizawa spent 300 years casually killing slimes in her reincarnated fantasy life, only to accidentally grind her way to level 99 and become the continent's strongest being. Now she just wants to relax in her mountain cottage, but somehow her doorstep keeps collecting chaos. A dragon, an elf, a demon queen, and even slimes that turn into little girls all decided she's their person.
今こそ我のしもべとなりと引き歩いて
Okay, come on. One look at the trailer or even a clip of this could tell you what kind of show this is. It doesn't have that epic action demon killing stuff. It's a low stakes, cozy, and unapologetically wholesome show. And it leans into that concept pretty hard. No world-ending drama, just Azusa getting increasingly exasperated as her accidentally found family keeps growing. What makes it work is how her reactions never feel forced. She's not some cool, overpowered protagonist. She's just a tired woman who wanted peace and got a house full instead. If you want some nice isekai slice of life, give this one a go. Natsuko Hirose is a prodigy animator who just directed her own anime series, but the pressure is crushing her. She collapses from overwork and wakes up inside of the world of her favorite childhood movie, A Tale of Perishing, where monsters called voids are threatening everything. She joins the 9 soldiers and discovers her animation peg bar lets her bring drawings to life. Zenshu is basically anime celebrating anime, and it nails it. Luke, Unio, Justice, and Natsuko carry this show hard. Each one goes through a full arc where you actually watch them hit walls, fail, and push through rather than just magically improving. Natsuko also has this pretty cool ability where she could draw something and the thing magically comes to life. And in a genre full of the same power being used over and over again, it feels pretty fresh. Also, it's ironically done by Studio Mappa, but at least you know the animation's going to be good. Now this was one of the most hyped shows out there. It was probably the solo leveling of mystery shows, but does it live up to the hype? I don't know, you be the judge. This happens in a Victorian steampunk plus eldritch horror world. Our main character is Klein Moretti, a modern soul trapped in the 19th century body, navigating a world where secret societies, warring churches, and occult powers collide. Nothing is straightforward here, and there is a dangerous horror blooming.
时空静止。
Lord of Mysteries doesn't hold your hand, and honestly, that's the point. If you're the type to pause, rewind, and build conspiracy boards at 2 a.m., this show was literally made for you. The world building is insane. Every location feels like it has centuries of history behind it, and the animation brings each scene to life cinematically, making the steampunk aesthetic genuinely immersive. How do I say this? This anime is like Dwarf Fortress or Caves of Quid, or a better example, Soulsborne games. You need to put a ton of effort to figure the system out, but once you do, you are in for a great story. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. You be the judge. Cheng Yan, a modern engineer, dies and gets reincarnated as Roland, the 4th prince of the Kingdom of Great Castle. After saving a witch named Anna from execution, Roland discovers magic is real and realizes it can substitute for modern technology. He then begins recruiting witches using their abilities to industrialize Bordernet Town, manufacture firearms, and win public support.
不，安娜小姐，我想聘用你。
If you're burned out on the Truck-kun hits generic hero formula, this one's different. Roland isn't some overpowered fighter. He's an engineer who drops thermodynamics on a world still burning witches. Using him as a fire manipulator witch as a literal blast furnace hits different. That's what I call original. The witches aren't background decoration either. Their tragic backstories make their loyalty to Roland feel completely earned, and just like Dr. Stone battles are won through logistics and superior tech, not the good old let's be friends. I know, it's a Chinese anime, but give it a go. You'll love it.
なあ君たち俺を舐めてるのか
That time I got reincarnated as a slime continues its story with Rimuru grand vision of monster-human coexistence finally gaining traction. But of course, nothing ever is that simple. Enter the Razo family, who think the best way to protect humanity is to, control everyone. Classic villain logic. Meanwhile, Leon's brewing something in El Dorado, and a new hero is about to shake things up.
テンペスト恐ろしい国なのよ。
お前ならば障害ではあるまい。
If you've been watching Rimuru's journey, this season scratches that itch of watching a genuinely competent protagonist outmaneuver people who underestimate him. The Razo conflict adds a layer of political scheming that keeps things from being just another Rimuru stops everyone arc. There's actual tension this time. I don't think any more words are needed from me since this is a fan favorite, just like the one I'm about to talk about next.
死んだ戻ったまずいまずいまずいレイド
レイドアストレア初代の牽制よ。
ユニさんまで
不思議だね。
Subaru and his crew barely survived the brutal battle at Watergate City, but winning cost them big. Rem's stuck in suspended animation, Crush lost her memories, and Julius literally lost his name thanks to the authority of gluttony. Now Subaru's chasing down a legendary sage named Shaulula at the Pleiades Watchtower, buried deep in a nightmare desert so dangerous that even Reinhard, the freaking sword saint, couldn't push through it.
他の者の最も輝かしきに触れよ。
黙れよ
Look, if you've been following ReZero, you already know what you're signing up for. Subaru suffering, high stakes, and just enough hope to keep you watching. The setup alone with the desert arc and a new mysterious sage is genuinely exciting. And what can I say? Best Girl Rem is finally making a comeback, and we've been waiting for this longer than, what, Annie being freed from a crystal in Attack on Titan? Devil is a part-timer getting a second season. Anyways, this is the most hyped up anime of this season, and as always, you are in for a treat.